dear ones, today we're talking about an airline that got hit maybe the most in the COVID crisis, and that's Cathay Pacific, an airline that used to be in the top rank worldwide before the crisis and then got grounded almost 100% for 2 years, and now they're trying to get back on track, getting back to that top rank that they used to have. And today is going to be especially interesting because we're going to fly in the worst case scenario business class of the airline, and that's a 222 seat configuration on a 21-year-old Airbus A330-300, and that's not lie-flat seats but angle seats, and the angle is not really huge for such a renowned airline, so it's gonna be super interesting.
I'm Chris. I've been crazy about planes since childhood. As an opera singer and also privately, I'm constantly on the go with way over 100 detailed reports on my 2 channels. Everything is about airlines, low cost, economy class, business class and first class, but also about hotels and exciting travel destinations worldwide on all continents, with lots of tips, insider knowledge and above all, always honest. And today we're checking out the regional business class of Cathay Pacific.
So come with me, Cathay Pacific, the very old business class on the Airbus A330-300 in 3 hours from Phuket to Hong Kong.
A huge advantage of Cathay Pacific is their baggage allowance. In business class you can check in 2 pieces of luggage of 32 kilos each, which is almost unique in Asia. Almost all other Asian carriers allow 40 kilos only. Cathay Pacific operates 2 versions of the Airbus A330, and that's first a long-haul version with very comfortable seats, all of which have direct aisle access and can be transformed into a completely flat bed. And there's gonna be a separate report about that, because on this flight we have the other version, but it's used only on regional routes. Compared to the regional business class in Europe, it's still very generous, but of course it cannot be compared to the long-haul version.
With the business class ticket you have of course access to a lounge, and here in Phuket it's the Coral Executive Lounge, and the Coral lounges are all quite nice. They're all the same style in Thailand, and they're not huge but they're quite nice, so you can spend a good time before going to your flight. Once seated we got greeted by a welcome drink that was orange juice, water or champagne, and then they had a hot wet towel. However, it was not with a nice scent or something, not smelling nicely. It kind of smelled like the oven where they heated it, and then it depends on the oven, right? It was not the best smell, I would say. It was also not horrible. So, and then we got also the menu, and that looked actually quite nice for such a short 3-hour flight. And we are up in the air. Just before takeoff we got asked what would we like to eat here from the menu. That's the menu, and there's a choice of 3 options. That's sweet and sour seafood, then a stuffed chicken breast with herb sauce, so that's a European dish, or stir-fried pork in garlic ginger sauce. And then there's salad and salmon as an appetizer, and there's cheese, fresh fruits and ice cream as dessert. And there's quite an impressive drink list. I was pretty impressed. There's champagne, there's a couple of wines, and then there's a quite big selection of cocktails. Then there's also mocktail as a signature drink, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Then there's a whole selection of teas, all this on a 3-hour flight. So altogether it's pretty impressive, and it looks like they're on a good way back to where they used to be. Well, and looking at the seat, you don't know if you should sing hallelujah or say, is this really it? I would say this is really quite comfortable. I mean, this is the regional business class, and when you look at European and most American business classes, they look really not nice. In Europe we have a regular economy seat, and no leg room at all, and here you have this beautiful comfy seat, and this is a really old version of it and still looks like really pretty new, very comfortable. The seats are very super new. They seem very new even though they cannot be so new. This aircraft is being used only for regional flights. That means flights of under 5 hours actually. They fly from Hong Kong to Beijing, for example, to Manila, that's 2 hours, to Hanoi, that's also 2 hours more or less. So it's really in the nearer region of Hong Kong, and for this it's really pretty fantastic.
The long-haul business class is also used on shorter routes, and I will present that in an extra report about the equally long flight from Hong Kong to Seoul. But now we talk survival, because lunch is ready.
Just so impressed right now. I'm pretty sure they bring all the catering from Hong Kong, from the catering in Hong Kong, because the salmon here is so fantastic. It tastes like in Scandinavia. I've never tried anything like this on a European flight or on a European airline that was as good as this one, except for SAS and Finnair. This is really very good, like you would be in Scandinavia, in a place where they really know how to prepare salmon. Very good.
The main course also looked good, but it was rather just okay, which was an absolute exception in a whole series of Cathay flights that week, where I got some great dishes. But the world never saw garlic bread as dry as this one.
And we've had the main course too, and maybe the seafood dish was not the right choice, because it seemed like they had been cooking it for 3 hours all the way from Hong Kong to Phuket, because the squid and the prawns were really small and dried out, so to speak. Still they tasted okay, and but the shiitake mushrooms were really nice, like you just get in Asia, really nice and freshly steamed. Then the white wine was an Argentinian Chardonnay. I'm not a big fan of it. There's just too much alcohol taste in the wine. Anyway, it's a matter of taste, I guess. Then the red wine is Haut Médoc from France from 2012, a very typical Haut Médoc, nothing extraordinary, but a nice Haut Médoc taste. And then what is really great here, what I've just grown a fan of within 1 hour, is the jasmine tea here. It's a really nice jasmine tea, and if I didn't do a YouTube review right now, I would just have the tea, because I'm just loving this tea here. But of course I want to show you everything, so I have the wines too, and I'm not finished with this one. I'm also gonna have the dessert wine, of course. So the big eating on this 3-hour flight is finally over, thank God. And we had some cheese and some fruits and some ice cream as dessert. And I also had some dessert wine. That was a white French dessert wine. Actually mostly dessert wines are quite nice. This one, it was not extraordinary, but it was a very nice dessert wine. And for this regional flight, come on, it's really pretty impressive. All the things they have also to drink. And this business class cabin is fully booked here. It's 4 rows by 6 seats, so that means 24 seats. I think they have 3 crew members, and they're pretty busy here. You see that they have a lot to do, but they're very friendly. They don't look stressed, even though I'm sure they're stressed. And they're very friendly. They still ask if I would like something else, even though it means much more work for them. And so they always are here. I also asked for more, but anyway, I need to try as much as possible. Of course, that's the reason why. Of course, most people don't just go from Phuket to Hong Kong, but most go on either to mainland China or to the many other international destinations of this airline. This is Cathay Delight, the non-alcoholic signature drink of Cathay Pacific with kiwi and coconut and lots of other nice things in there. And here's a really good idea for you. If you like this report, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel right away with a little bell notification. You would make my day and you would really help the channel to grow further. There's lots of really nice and exciting airline reports and destination reports on the channel and also in the planning, and you're gonna be notified whenever there's something new happening on the channel. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again soon.
The entertainment system is excellent and it came with a few surprises for me, and I will tell more about that in my flight report from Hong Kong to Seoul, because the monitors of the long-haul business class there were very good, while the touchscreens in this regional business class just reflect the light too much and also don't react well enough in my opinion. But the selection of films, documentaries and music is really great, and even fans of classical music won't be disappointed. There was even a documentary about Ennio Morricone, whom I had the great honor to work with myself, singing the world premiere of one of his compositions.
This flight is going to Hong Kong, but tomorrow I'm gonna go on to Seoul, and actually the whole route from Phuket to Seoul is one of the best options to use or to redeem miles on Asia Miles of Cathay Pacific, because you need only 25,000 miles for this whole route of 2 times 3.5 hours, or about 3 hours. So altogether a 6 to 7 hours flight for only 25,000 miles. And you should always keep in mind that Cathay Pacific Asia Miles cannot only be collected by flying, but also by just transferring some points from your American Express card, and I'm sure also a couple of other bank cards worldwide. So that's a really, really good way to redeem points and miles. Approaching into Hong Kong. Now, how was this business class flight in the really, really old business class of Cathay Pacific on the Airbus A330-300? Well, first of all, I'm not so sure if this is really an old seat. I mean, it's an old design, but everything looks so new and so super tip-top, really nice. There's nothing old, everything is super clean, super new it looks. So I'm somehow having the feeling that this is actually a new seat, only in the old design of a regional business class, and that's totally okay, because I mean, for a couple of hours you don't need actually more, and it's still so much better than most airlines in Europe, all airlines except for Turkish Airlines, and also most other airlines worldwide, if you want to say, except for Asia. It's still so much better than they are. So then when it comes to the food, it was very good food. On this 3-hour flight we had 3 courses. There was a really good wine list. I mean, for such a short flight it was a good drink list, let's say that, with cocktails and all kinds of drinks and teas. So it was really pretty impressive. The crew was also very friendly. I mean, they were not like incredibly extravagantly courteous but they were friendly and they were attentive. They were really attentive, they were really there on spot, and so altogether it was really a nice experience. 3 hours altogether, really nice, and you can really see that Cathay Pacific does not want to go somewhere around after the crisis, but no, they want to be up in the top again where they used to be before the crisis, and it looks like they have good chances to get there again. So my dear ones, we've arrived in Hong Kong and my seat neighbor coughed for 3 hours now, so maybe I'm gonna be super sick in the next 3 weeks. Anyway, here are a few reports for you to watch right away. Really interesting ones for you. So see you again very soon over there, here at TravelSingFly.